You need to be materialistic to repel people that don't want to see you grow and become a better version of yourself. You need to be a material girl. I'm telling you. And I don't mean that you need to go out and spend your life savings and go into credit card debt to buy things that you deserve, but you need to value materials. And this is both when it comes to dealing with people, but also dealing with men. If you want more, you have to treat yourself like you deserve more. It is as simple as that. If you want princess treatment, you gotta give yourself princess treatment. You can't be on some not giving yourself anything and then expecting some man or the world or anyone to give you more. Because the truth of the matter is, you're not gonna be able to handle it if you do not accustom yourself to giving yourself. And people that are actually able to give you more and that want to pour in energy to other people, they're going to see the scarcity energy. If they have abundance energy, and they're going to be like, I'm going to retract myself. So you need to treat yourself bougie. You need to treat yourself in general. If you want to live the type of life where you're spoiled and you can go on shopping trips, you gotta take yourself on shopping trips. And as I said before, that doesn't mean you're gonna have to go out and spend your whole paycheck on stuff. That doesn't mean that you have to go into Louis Vuitton and buy yourself a bag. But the reason you gotta shop, the reason you gotta be a little materialistic is because you got to familiarize yourself with the life that you wanna live. This is actually where window shopping is a very, very powerful tool. You don't have to buy anything at luxury stores, but you got to put yourself in those environments. One of the easiest ways to signal to Miss Universe that you deserve more, that you deserve to be treated like a princess and a queen and everything in between, is by putting yourself in those types of environments that do carry luxury goods and feeling like you belong. You have to get over the threshold of being scared of putting yourself in those type of environments. So an exercise that can actually make you more abundant is if you live in a city that has a luxury mall, if you live in a city that has a nice part of the city, if you live anywhere where they just have luxury stores like Gucci and Louis Vuitton and whatever, you need to go there. You need to go in those stores. You need to wait in line. And even if you're not trying to buy anything, because you know what, you deserve to be in there, but you have to go there. And if you want to like step a little bit like lightly, it's because you're scared of stepping into these stores. Start going to, those reseller stores where they sell expensive sneakers that are packaged in plastic, and ask questions. Ask questions about the shoes. Go and try something on. Try on a sweater. Go to nicer places and try out stuff. This is an insane exercise that will literally make you much better at receiving, because now you're actually proving to your body and your mind and your soul that you deserve to be there. It's a really, really great way of signaling to your body that you can hold wealth and abundance, and you don't even have to spend anything. And if you feel like, you know what, I don't want to go to these stores if I don't have any money to spend. This is why you have a scarcity mindset. This is why you're not getting the life that you truly want. You know why? Because you feel like in order for you to go somewhere, you need to give. You need to be able to give. Like, you need to lose something in order for you to be able to take up space. You need to compensate them. No. The universe needs to give you, which means that you can step into these environments. One exercise that I used to do when I was customizing, whatever you want to say, when I was getting accustomed to being in better spaces, because I did grow up in a family that, we had it decent, but I grew up in my part of the family. My mom is the type of person, if you gift her something really nice, she will not wear it, because she'll be like, people are going to ask me if I bought that, and I don't want to come off as someone who has the money to buy this. I remember I gifted her a Marc Jacobs bag, and I asked her, oh, you're not going to wear it? Because I never see her wear it. And she's like, I don't want to wear it unless it's like a special occasion. Mind you, I've never seen her wear it on special occasion. And she said, well, it's because I'm afraid people are going to ask me how I have the money to buy that. Like, my mom has a scarcity mindset times 1,000. So while I did grow up with privileges, and I did grow up with a lot of things that I know a lot of people don't grow up with, I still grew up with a scarcity mindset pushed upon me from my mom. And if my mom hadn't had that scarcity mindset, I probably wouldn't have felt so bad about treating myself. Because for many, many years, I felt terrible about treating myself. And that's a cycle I literally had to break. I had to break up with scarcity. My mom is the type of person that if you go to a luxury mall, she'd be like, I don't want to go in there because I'm afraid they're going to make us buy stuff. They're not going to make you buy stuff. You have every right to be there. And you know what? When you get used to being in luxury or really nice environments, you're naturally just gonna feel at home in them. You're not even gonna want to buy stuff. Because you know what happens when you actually deny yourself access to luxury environments? You're gonna want to buy into them even more because you feel like you need to owe them. Like you feel like you need to put yourself in these environments, and the only way for you to have access to these environments is if you already have stuff. So you're actually going to make yourself poorer. You're actually going to give yourself a scarcity mindset from not feeling like you belong in these environments. And then you're never going to feel like you belong because you're always going to feel like you need to have more and more and more in order for you to be able to step into these environments. So you're never going to step into those environments. And then you're wondering why you keep having a scarcity mindset. And this is why I rebuke scarcity. In the name of God and Jesus and I don't know, whoever up in the sky, I rebuke scarcity. I rebuke it with the power of my body and my soul and everything. I felt growing up that materialism made you a bad person, made you a greedy person. And you know what? That's a narrative that society actually wants to sell you, and actually not society, but broke mindset people. And this might be something that people just don't want to hear because I get it. I didn't want to hear it either when I heard it. But you can't get a abundance mindset if you're constantly hanging around people that are constantly talking about money being the root of all evil. If you're constantly talking to people that don't even want to treat themselves to a matcha latte. I didn't know how deep I was into the scarcity mindset till I started hanging out with normal people. Because even regular people, a lot of them have money blocks because they grow up believing that money is not supposed to be something that you spend and you need to be like saving all the time. And if you're a good person, you're someone who saves. Especially women, we gotta talk about that. Especially women are praised for saving. We're told that because now we have the liberty of having money of our own, which is like, that's not new news. Like that's old news. Women can have their own money. Now we still gotta live by the rules that we gotta pinch and save, and we gotta make sure we don't spend too much. That's on some scarcity. We're not gonna get more money if we're constantly worried about whether this money is gonna come back to us. That is literally trying to predict that we're not gonna have any money in the future. And this is something that women are actually caught up in. Very, very, very badly. This is exactly why my mom has an extreme scarcity mindset. And I do see it generally in parts of my family, but I do also know that my family, like a lot of the people in my family actually, like they do good. And telling people to save is not a bad thing. But in my mom's case, she has literally demonized spending money. And I get where my mom comes from because my mom made some interesting choices when it comes to her marrying for a specific reason, which we can talk about in another video because it's actually heavily related to getting the life that you truly want. And it's a very important story we need to learn from. My mom is my greatest teacher. My mom is absolutely a beautiful and amazing woman. I would never have learned to actually treat myself the way that I treat myself if it wasn't because I'd seen my mom pinch and save and never get anything back. And when she does get something back, aka me giving her gifts, I love getting my mom perfumes. I love getting my mom, a little bag. She will pinch and save it like she's never getting any more. And you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of this story about one kid that's constantly trying to save and keep their toys away from everyone and they don't want to share their toys. And the other kid that's playing with their toys all the time until you can't play with them anymore, like they're broken. What kid do you think is going to be getting more toys? What kid do you think the parents are going to be like, wow, this kid is going to need more toys? The kid who is not afraid of using their toys. This is exactly one thing I did learn from growing up with a mom and then being able to give myself princess treatment. If you want to have a life where people bless you, people spoil you, you get princess treatment, not just from men, but also from the world, you need to be the kid who appreciates and who isn't hiding away the things that you're given. If you're someone who gets gifts or buys stuff for yourself and you're like putting it in the closet because, ooh, I spent some money today. Oh, I shouldn't have spent that much money. Oh, I don't deserve that. Wow, you really gave that to me? If that's your reaction every single time you're getting something from the universe and your reaction isn't, as you should never ever say that to people, as you should, but that's the feeling you gotta have in a positive way. You gotta be like, I know you got me, universe. You cannot be blessed. You cannot be spoiled. You cannot get the life that you truly want if you are not ready to spoil yourself. And you also have to build audacity. I'm telling you, you have to build audacity. You have to build the audacity to ask for more. And one of the best exercises to build audacity is to download an app like Vinted or go on Facebook Marketplace, find things that you like, not necessarily things you are gonna buy, and then bid on them. You're not going to meet these people in real life, but you have to get comfortable with asking for what you want and then getting rejection. Getting people saying, are you crazy? You're bidding this low? This is one of my favorite hobbies. I love going and bidding. I'm like, can you do this price? I'll be like, I see you charging this for this, but I'm going to bid lower because this is actually going to make you understand that you can ask for what you want. It's a really, really good exercise. And I'm not saying you have to go and like just bid on things that you don't want. You have to go and find things that you would actually buy and then bid something ridiculous. A lot of the time, people will say yes. And then you will have a wardrobe that is really nice for much less than you expected to pay, because a lot of the time we think that in order for us to get the things we want, we got to pay full price, and we can't really have the audacity to ask for more. You have to have the audacity to ask for more because people will always ask you for more. And you know what? We might have to get into this in another video, but I have been an influencer. Believe it or not, I did fashion YouTube for like many years, and I worked with a lot of people and a lot of brands and a lot of stuff. And a lot of brands, they want you to post a ridiculous amount of posts for very, very little money. And if you want to be in the game where you actually get the things that you deserve and you get the payment you deserve in the influencer world, you have to have the audacity to ask for what you're worth, because people are always going to lowball you. This is why if you do not have audacity, people are always going to lowball you. Life is going to lowball you if you do not have audacity. Life is not going to give you some sweet offer and be like, you deserve this. If you're not ready to ask for what you want, you're not going to get what you want. I've been in many situations where brands have reached out and they've said, so if we send you one t-shirt, will you post like 5 posts? And mind you, in the beginning of my fashion influencer career thing, I thought getting free clothes was a great deal. And then it's like, oh, you got to post 10 posts. But people want to rip you off. People want to rip off your time. People want to rip off your energy. And they want you to do so much. And if you're a moral girly, if you're some girly, especially if you're a neurodivergent girly and you think that rules are rules, you're going to have a really, really hard time bending them. But you're going to have to not become a firebender, not become an earthbender, not become an airbender or a waterbender. You have to become a rule bender. The rule of society bender, because you know what? The only rules that actually apply are the rules that you make up. People want to make you do more for less because then they get something out of it. This is why you got to have the audacity to ask for more, and you also got to have the audacity to ask and then get rejected. Rejection therapy is very, very good, and you need to go through it in order for you to get your dream life. And if people want to call you materialistic and say, oh, you're a bougie, wow, you really expect a lot, huh? That's because they know they're ripping you off. They're ripping you off and they don't want to admit it, so they're just going to say something to make you feel, ooh, I'm a bad person now. And then they're hoping that you're going to say, oh, I'll do it for less, or I'll take your ridiculous offer. And I'm not just talking about influencers. I'm talking about everything in life. This is why we got to go back to the whole talking about materialism when it comes to dating. If you want to live a bougie life, if you want to have a man that takes care of stuff, if you want to live a life where someone actually goes out and does stuff for you, you got to do that for yourself. You cannot be going on dinner dates with men and being like, oh, I never go out and eat dinner. Or certainly not go out on dinner dates and not treat yourself to dinner dates. You got to take yourself on dates. You got to date yourself. How would you treat yourself? You know what? That's going to make your standards rise significantly, because if a man wants to step into your life, he got to provide you with the support, but also the not exactly necessarily luxuries, because the first thing you gotta know is that a man needs to provide you with mental clarity, purpose, and peace. That doesn't mean that he needs to give you everything in a luxury mall and Louis Vuitton bags and everything. But a man needs to invest in you financially. Because you know what? Dating is not something you need to do. As I said before, women have their own money. Women can make their own money. You should make your own money. Which is why when you do date, you have to understand that it needs to give you more than you actually have already. If dating a man feels like you're losing something, especially money, giving money to men, if you do that, we're going to have to talk about that in a different video. Giving money to men, then you're saying to the universe, I deserve only giving and compensating. You feel like in order for you to get something, which is like only love, or a guy saying that he loves you, which is like if he really truly loves you, he would make sure that you're good. And making sure that you're good means making sure that you're not around someone who can't do something for you. And being around someone who can't do something for you usually means that you can't be around broke people. You can't be around broke men. The best thing a broke man can do for you is to leave you. And if you hear this from a guy who's dating you and he says, if I couldn't help you out, I wouldn't want you to be with me, then you know you're with the right guy. Because men know that women need materials. It's not new, but they only try to make women seem like materials are bad, because that means they can get more for less. Sweetheart, if you can get into a nightclub for free just because you're pretty, but a guy is telling you that, well, you don't need to be that materialistic. You shouldn't wear that much makeup. Are you sure you want to do that? Wow, you really need a lot. This man doesn't want good things for you. And you know what? The best thing you can do for yourself to make sure that you repel people that ain't got no money is to look really, really bougie. And this doesn't mean you need to go out and buy everything under the moon and the stars. And of course, if you can, you should. But if you look like someone who's got it good, less broke dusties are gonna approach you. And if they do, they are gonna become verbal, which is just them telling on themselves and that you like. You know what? It's very nice when a broke guy tells on himself. If a man tells you you're bougie, and not on some I love my bougie girl, but on some, wow, you're really bougie. Oh, I gotta treat you nice, huh? Men are more self-aware than we give them credit for. And the reason that they don't want to make it seem like they're self-aware is that so we underestimate them. This is also why it's actually really, really dangerous to say that men are stupid, because it actually gives them a leg up on us, because we give them the benefit of the doubt and then we actually let them do more stupid stuff around us. Because it's like, oh, they're stupid. They can't do anything about it. Like, oh, that's just their nature. You gotta start being on some, men are smart. Because the men love selling you the idea that money doesn't matter. Love is all you need. Love, 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 love. But then when you literally need money to pay your dental bill or whatever unexpected expenses come up, they're just here for the sympathy. They're like there to give you a little pat on the shoulder and be like, wow, I can see that you're in pain and your teeth are going to fall out. But you know what? I'm so sorry. You have to get turned off. Like, your poom poom has to be like out of business for the day, for the month, for the year, forever. When it comes to people that want to talk to you like you being expensive, you being bougie is a bad thing, because these people are never actually going to get you what you want. You might try to make yourself believe that you're in it for love, 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 love. But if you like stuff, if you're a woman, you're going to like stuff. You're going to like to be treated. And if a guy can't even treat you to a Rio de Janeiro body spray, I think they're like $20 or something, and he calls that bougie, boom, boom, out of business. This is why you gotta carry yourself expensive. And you gotta invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, don't invest in no man. If a man is good to you, and if he helps you out, then you can invest your time, because your time is a privilege. But your money should go into yourself, especially if you are not married. If you are an unwed maiden, if you are out of wedlock and you're a young girl in her 20s, what are you doing giving money to a man? The only men you should ever give money to is your son and your brother if he's really, really nice, or some homeless dude because you're a nice person. Because you know what? The homeless people are not afraid of saying that they want charity. They make it very clear that they want charity. But the broke dudes, they don't want to say that they want charity. They want to say that they want love. Sweet love, la, 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 la. It's all about love, baby. No, it's all about you getting a good deal. And you know what usually happens? You get emotionally, energetically drained from being around broke men. Have you ever heard about the term boyfriend heir? And I'm not saying that necessarily boyfriend heir is the same for everyone. I mean, if you're hanging at some boyfriend's place and your hair, is a little more messy than it usually is, a guy can also make you comfortable, and that's a different thing. You just feeling like you can be a little bit more toned down. You don't have to maybe wear as much makeup and whatever. You can definitely do it in a way that makes you feel comfortable. But we've also heard about school heir and boyfriend heir. And heir, like, it's all over social media, where it's like you get with a man, you see girls getting with a man, and then suddenly their skin is bad, they're gaining a lot of weight, and their hair it's always the hair for some reason. It's because men take energy. And if a man is not investing in you monetarily, the energy that they're taking from you is not compensated, honey. And I'm not saying when you do see men, you have to ask for money up front. You can definitely be a nice person, but your time is not up for wasting. If you're in your early 20s, have fun, try out things, figure out why I'm saying the things that I'm saying, because that is how men are. But the reason that men are so stuck up on talking about love, one love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right, is because they have no materials to offer you. They don't have any sheep. They don't have any gold to offer your father for your hand in marriage. They don't even want to have your hand in marriage. They want to have you as a sneaky link that they can call up when they get home. They want you to reply to their good morning texts like you guys are special and have something going on. They want your energy. And this is why setting a barricade. If you've ever watched Game of Thrones, and this is a very insane reference, but you know what? I'm like that, so we're gonna go with this. If you've ever watched Game of Thrones, they have the wall. In Winterfell, they have the wall. The men go out and they guard the wall. You gotta have one of these walls. Because you know what's beyond the walls? The White Walkers. The White Walkers, they will wreak havoc if they can. But they can't, because there's a wall. And you, being bougie, you being ice cold and having your standards, your materialistic standards, and actually giving yourself princess treatment, that is going to be the wall. And if you don't have no wall that you build for yourself, not some man builds for you, a man can elevate your wall. A man can make your wall bigger and better so that you don't have to deal with no White Walkers ever. But you need to lay the foundation of your own wall. And you do this by giving yourself princess treatment. If you're someone who is wowed by a guy buying you dinner, clock it. No. If a guy literally bought himself takeaway and then got an extra meal for himself for the day after, that's what he would do if he took you out to eat. And you're like, wow, he took me out to eat. Bare minimum. This is why you have to take yourself out. You have to date yourself, because that's you building the wall. That is you customizing, making yourself accustomed to the life that you do deserve. This does not mean that you need to go out to Michelin restaurants and spend all your hard-earned money on things that you don't need. No, But you need to treat yourself like the bushy person you are to get the bushy life that you deserve. Or else your wall is not going to be there, and it's going to be much easier for the White Walker men to step into your life and say, but I thought we were all about love. What happened to love? They want you to think about love. They want you to forget about materials because they have none. If they had materials, they would offer them to you. If they had the means to supply you with a materialistic lifestyle, they would give it to you. But they don't want to give it to you because they don't have it. But they still have the audacity to ask. They still have the audacity to say, what about love? What about love? If you haven't already clocked that, that is them begging. They're begging. They're just trying to make it seem like they're nice. If you build a wall of materialism around yourself, it's going to be really, 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 really hard for someone who doesn't have those materials to get through it, because he sees when you get time, you get money, you get more, you invest it into yourself, and then you get even more. And this doesn't even have to mean you going shopping and buying yourself nice stuff. This can mean you just investing in yourself, investing in your portfolio, your stocks, getting your nails done, going to the movies. Spend your money on doing things for yourself, doing things with yourself. It doesn't have to be like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This way, you're going to be occupied. You're going to be happy on your own. Spend your money on getting something that can make you happy so you can do a little at-home DJing, if you know what I mean. And I don't mean DJing like DJing, but at-home DJing. Something that's got a good vibration to it. And also, learn to say your abundance affirmations every single morning and every single night. You can't afford not to program your mind for abundance, or you're going to end up feeling like when you spend money on yourself, you're a terrible person. And that's exactly what the world wants you to feel, because we have to spend money. We have to spend money to live. That's a no-brainer. So every time you do spend money, which we have to do almost every single day, you're going to feel terrible. And then you're going to evoke that feeling within yourself that you don't deserve as much. And you're going to be like, oh, I'm a bad person for spending money, because it's you got to spend money to live. And that's something that's the game that the dusties play on us. The dustiness of society plays on us. It makes us feel like spending money is a bad thing, so that it's easier for us to subscribe to the whole idea of love. All you need is love. Wow, you like to get these things? Ooh, my. You have to buy stuff to live. And if you do not reprogram your mind to feeling like every single purchase you make, even if it's a matcha latte, even if it's you buying bread to eat, if you do not reprogram yourself to feel like these are choices of abundance, you will continuously step into a life where people are going to literally make you get got. People are going to make you feel like you need to give more in order for you to be able to deserve receiving. Because every single little tap with your phone paying is going to feel immoral. It's going to feel demoralizing. It's going to make you feel like you're doing something bad. You're literally like, ooh, I'm a bad person. Have you ever noticed how moms, when they buy something for themselves or they eat a little snack or something, some moms will be on some, ooh, I'm so naughty. I'm so bad. We women, we are programmed to make ourselves feel and make other women feel like wanting more, wanting stuff is a bad thing. Because when we do realize we want more, we don't settle for less. And when we settle for less, you know what happens? When we demonize getting more, eating more, taking care of ourselves, then it's easier for the dusty men in society to take a hold on us with their illusion of love, 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 love. Because they know you feel bad about spending money on yourself. And they love that you feel bad about spending money on yourself. Because that means they don't have to spend money on you, because you don't even want to treat yourself. As the thumbnail showed, I'm a material girl, and we're living in a material world. So maybe this is kind of a me alluding to you going shopping. Don't spend money you don't have, but treat yourself and feel good about it. Make it a habit to treat yourself so that you know you can and you know you're allowed to, and you won't accept anyone who doesn't treat you. Because being a materialistic girly will save you. Be materialistic and don't look back. And also, men actually do like women that are materialistic. They just don't want to say it because they don't want to level up. They don't want to have to do more. Just saying.